Hi there, my name is Melissa and this is Evening Star Stitches. Most of the time my videos are about cross stitch, but today I'm going to share some of the quilting items that I finished, fully finished. I have one fully finished item, some projects I'm working on, and also some recent purchases that I made. So thanks for being here. It's great to have a moment to share some of the quilting items. So the first thing I wanted to show you was a fully finished project that I completed, and it is completed using this pattern called Take 5. And it was from a kit that I purchased at Stitch in Durango, Colorado, and the designer is Carla Alexander, and I think maybe her company is Saginaw Street Quilts. There's a template in there to show you how to cut those, and so this is how it ended up. The fabric is from Zen Chic, and I'll get kind of close so you can see some of the fabrics. There's some metallics in there. Let's see if I can find a fabric that has some little touches of metallic. Like you can see one here. The metallic is kind of gold. Some there, so it might catch the light. And I'll tell you, I deviated from the pattern just a little bit because you kind of do some slicing on different angles and you piece those together. And then on some of the rows, let's see, it looks like 1, 2, maybe 4 of the rows, you're supposed to slice it yet again. And so your rows might be like a different width. I'll give you a peek at the pattern again. So you can see some of the smaller strips here, and here, and here, and here, and here are a little bit of a different width. But I was talking with my mom and I was like, you know, I like being able to see these kind of bigger designs, and I worried that if I cut it yet again, it would just be really bulky and you'd lose some of those bigger designs in the fabric. So I decided, I think I'm going to just piece it together the way it is. And I was really happy that I did that. So on the back, this came in the kit. I used this kind of dark blue, and it has the little, it has like little gold crosses in it. And in the past, I've always had time to just hand bind my quilts. I usually stitch the binding on with the sewing machine, and then turn it to the back, and then hand bind. And I enjoy that slow process, but I have cross stitch now and English paper piecing to satisfy that kind of slow stitching, relaxing kind of stitching. And so I said, you know, I'm going to practice my machine binding. And so what I did was I flipped it over like I normally would have, and then just stitched just really close to the binding edge. And I think I might have glued down the binding, and so I did pretty good on catching it. There were a couple places, I know you're not supposed to show your mistakes, but there were a couple places that didn't quite catch, so I may go in and just hand stitch that a little bit. But I thought for a runner that really isn't going to probably get a lot of, you know, wear like a quilt, like a, you know, a throw quilt or something, that it would be just fine. So I'm working on that. I did quilt it myself, and you can see here, maybe on the back, I used the serpentine stitch on my sewing machine to kind of do a pattern. I think, if I remember right, I did just kind of the same distance above the seam and below the seam, and then down the middle of each row. So it worked out pretty nice. I like it. I've been holding it back to show you guys, and I can put it on our table now that the holidays are over and just having something fun and new. I usually like to have like a runner or something on the desk that I cross stitch on here in my sewing room. And so maybe I'll use it there. So anyway, we'll see where it lands. So I might have shown this. I think I did while I was sewing on it, but I don't know if I ever showed it finished. But I used a pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop called Layer Cake Loop. And it's from their Shortcut series, and they have a lot of different sizes. I would say it comes across as a real scrappy quilt, and I've always liked it. And I took some layer cakes that I had collected from, it's the designers from the Ruby Star Society, back when they used to be called Cotton and Steel, when they were with a different company. And so I had a handful of layer cakes. I'd been kind of saving them, but then I was like, I need to make this into a quilt and start using it. It's pretty bold and modern looking, but it's got some cute little vintage motifs. I really love the Viewmaster. If you're a kid from my decades, you might remember Viewmasters. You put those little discs into almost a camera looking thing, and you could see pictures, and you'd click it and it would change it. So spent lots of time with that toy. So I'll kind of hold it up. You can't really see the whole thing, but it was really fun. It's a really easy pattern. If you are a beginner, it would be a great one to do because the pieces are pretty big. You don't have to have things lined up perfectly, like you're never going to notice if your seams just aren't exactly matching up. So anyway, I do plan on quilting this one myself, just on my home sewing machine. And I think I might have some backing already saved. These little horses are kind of cute. And these little cats come in different colors. There's some florals. Got like a cross-stitch bee, some game boards. I really love this one. Right here is probably one of my favorites. And I like these little stars. There's some prints. They have the states' names on them. And let's see. This is kind of a favorite. This little bee design. Oh, and there's some jacks. I played jacks as a kid for sure. So anyway, just some fun, bright fabrics. So I did get that together, and then when I was visiting, I want to say over the summer, to Tennessee to see my mom and my brother and sister-in-law and brother-in-law, like my whole side of the family lives there. We went to a little quilt shop together. I think it might have been called Iva's in I want to say like the Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area. If you know where Dollywood is, it's kind of in that area. And my sister and I both picked up a charm pack, and I think it might be Layla Boutique. Let me look at the selvage on one of the fabrics. No, I was wrong. It's Cora Yoder. She has a YouTube channel. If you're into quilting, you might know her channel, but This is the backing fabric, I think, that I picked up. It's got little sheep on them, and it's called Starberry. And so we picked up a charm pack, and we did our own little charm pack challenge. And we're like, okay, we're gonna take home our charm pack. My mom had one in stash from when she had a quilt shop. And we're like, let's each make something, and let's try and get it done by Christmas. Well, my sister teaches school, and I work at a school, and my mom's retired. And of course, my mom got her project complete. She made a tote bag that was really cute with her charm pack. And let's see, where's my pattern? I picked out this little pattern. I found it up in Durango at Stitch, I believe. And it's, I hadn't heard of this pattern company. It's called Creekside Stitches. They have a website called creeksidestitches.com. And this pattern is called Charming 4-Patch Twist. And I thought it was kind of neat because I think like this green and orange is a block. And the squares, it's not just a simple 9-patch. You know, there's different sizes, and somehow they're able to get like 2 different fabrics in that. So I was like, oh, how did they do that? So I found out. It's really cute. So the first step that you do is to make your 4-patch. And so this is my background fabric. It's a low volume. It's a print from the collection. And let's see, what does it say? Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us with thy perfect light. I'm pretty sure that when I was in grade school, we did a Christmas program, and that was one of the songs that we sang. So I tried to do 2 background fabrics and 2 fabrics from my charm pack. I did take out a lot of the light colored ones because I wanted some contrast between the background fabric. So anything that was similar, I pulled it out. Like there was this one. There was a couple of each of those. So, and also I pulled out this print. So I'll just show you a couple of them. I won't go through all of them, but there's that. It's got a pretty green in it. And the reds are really good. So I've got all of those made. There's kind of a taupey color. Let's see. So then your next step is to slice and dice this one a certain way. So the pattern gives you, you know, a diagram of how you're supposed to slice it. And then you sew it back together again. And then you sew those blocks together. And so you'll end up with that runner. I think, so this is the backing, and then this is the binding fabric that I chose. I bought too much of it, but it was I like the little stars. And so I think it'll make a nice it'll make a nice contrast to the blocks and also the binding. So that's kind of a work in progress. I'm finding that I'm doing good to cross stitch during the week, and really like Saturdays are often a just slow morning, and I usually do some cross stitch that day, and then later in the weekend I try and do some quilting. But I kind of don't often feel like I can do both, but spring break's coming up, and so I'm hoping to have a little more time to work on some projects like that. So that's my work in progress. So I've got a fully finished work in progress. And then I picked up some things. I was able to visit Primrose Cottage's store in St. George, Utah. And I've already showed some of my cross stitch things on my previous video. But I did pick up a quilt kit. So let's see, where did I get it? Where did I put it? Oh, I also got this cute little charm pack, and I thought it would make a cute little project bag. So let me peel the, okay, I can't get the price tag off of it, but I can take it out of the plastic because who wants that glare? So it's called Hey Pumpkin, and it's by Riley Blake. So it's got some cute little novelty fabrics in it. And then they include a great little picture of all the fabrics. So I thought that'd make a cute little project bag. Speaking of project bags, I've made some recently. So I might have already showed these on one of the cross stitch videos, but I thought I'd show these real quick. So I made one with a fox, and it's got some text fabric on the back. And on the inside, I just used this kind of low volume fabric, and I used a tutorial from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. So I made that one. I made this one with some cocoa mugs. And the back side has a solid, these are all from the collection. I love the stripe. And then this is a, what's her name? Vanessa. It's not Vanessa Gertson. Vanessa Christensen. I've got some books stacked back here from her. And I made the strawberry one with some lakeside seed packet print on the inside. It's got a little Lori Holt charm. And then I made this one. This was actually from a little curated package of fat quarters from Primrose Cottage a couple of years ago. And I've got a Christmas project in there, I believe. Oh, I know what this one is. So I've got some hats on the inside, little stocking caps. And then this one is holding my Peace on Earth. So I'm still messing around trying to pick fabric. I pick fabric that has such a stiff feeling to it, so I haven't decided whether to use that one or not, but so I did that over Christmas break. So the quilt kit that I was able to get from Primrose Cottage is this one. It's called Winter Frost. And I want to say that this might have been a Free Stitch Friday, but I think after the month is over that it's available to download for free. I think it's then available for purchase. So it's really nice because they even have like a coloring page that you can kind of map out your own, you know, color of fabrics. So this one just comes out to be 34 by 34, which is a perfect little table topper. So you can see, you know, the yardage requirements here. So it was kind of nice to have a kit with everything in it. And I loved, they had a model in the store, and I really like the colors. So they've done kind of the hard work for you already. So let me pull this out so you can see it. And I love, again, they label things so nicely so that when you get home with that, you know what it belongs to. So it says Free Pattern Friday Kit for December 2025. And that way you know. Okay, so I got distracted by something else. Here's some of the fabrics. And then this is the background, just the white. And this one might be the backing. So anyway, really sweet. I think that'll be really nice. So those were the two quilting things that I got at Primrose Cottage. And then I recently went up to Stitch in Durango. I want to say I had an appointment up there I got a haircut. And I invited my husband to go. It was kind of early. So we've got a breakfast place called Rupert's that we love up there. And I think he had some things to do that day. And he said, oh, go ahead and go on up and, you know, enjoy yourself, have some time. So I went to Maria's bookstore and went to Stitch after my haircut and picked up a couple things. So I got some laundry basket quilts, a little charm pack. It's called Sewing Bird Charm Pack. And I really like the soft blues that were in this. But did you see that spool of thread? That was really cute. And I think that was something that really caught my eye. So let me grab that again. It's got polka dots in it, which I love a polka dot. And then some of the fabrics are this little spool of thread. And then I really love this little star. So there are some patterns out there that are for like one charm pack. And you can always cut them up and make, I've seen some tote patterns recently that took one charm pack. You can make a project bag for your cross stitch. There's so many things that you can do with a charm pack. And it's nice because you get all the fabrics from that line. They coordinate well together. So I got that. And then I showed you this fabric from, it was Cotton and Steel, and now they're called Ruby Star Society. So Stitch had a couple bolts of their fabric. Now this one is from them, and it's called Magic, I think. And it looks like selvages. Let me open it up. It looks like selvages sewn together. And I thought it would make some really cute binding if it was cut this way. So I got enough that I could maybe even bind this quilt with it. I'm not sure, but I'll test that out and see. And then this was a new fabric they had in that I just love the color. It was this sweet floral, and I was like, okay, I need to do something with that. So it was around Valentine's Day, and so you might be familiar with Robin Pickens. She is a quilter and a cross stitcher, and so she has a lot of cross stitch patterns out right now. She was at the Jingle Ball, and I saw this quilt pattern from her called Heartfelt Homes. And I actually have purchased in the past some laundry basket fabrics that are pinks and reds, and there's some polka dots, and I thought that might be a good bundle to use with that. So, and I really wanted some background fabric because I've got lots of reds in my stash and pinks, but background fabric, usually you need quite a bit. This one I got, I think about 3 yards of, it's a white on white, and so you probably can't really tell the print, but it's a very fine little polka dot. But I don't think you'll be able to see the pattern of it. Maybe if I pull it out like this and the sun shines through it, because the sun is shining through right now. Maybe right there you can see kind of a little pattern to it. So just kind of a scattered dot. So I got that for the background for whatever pinks and reds I'm able to find. But then when I was checking out, I saw this paper pad, and they had the sample of this quilt hanging out behind the register. And it's kind of a scrappy little project. It's foundation paper pieced. There's 100 paper, let's see, includes 100 foundations, 2 of each design. So you can see those there. So cute. And I thought that might be a fun little scrappy project. So those are some things in the future that I might be working on. And I just thought I'd pop in with some of these things because some of you expressed an interest in seeing some of the quilting things that I do. It's not as frequent as my cross stitch, but maybe as I work on some of these, I can come in every once in a while and update you on some of these projects. So anyway, thanks for spending some time with me today, and I hope you're having fun taking some time to be creative, whether it's cross stitch or quilting or any of your other hobbies. So you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.